problem compounding, which comes from emotional control, is one of the biggest headaches that you guys have in business long term, because it's what sets you back and costs you those first two right there, which is time and money. When you lost your cool, how you lost your cool, did you say something in a text message? Was it through a verbal message? But if you're sending messages in text or email, these are the ones that you really want to avoid. Never send it that same day, guys. Always go to sleep, sit on it, read it in a calm mind, in a normal mindset, and decide if you still want to send it, because that's where a lot of problems come up. I want to kind of go into, guys, how to look at the EXP system, how to look at what we're doing with the Wolfpack and different parts of what I guess we call our system here, how you can look at all together, how you need to think about what makes your business grow, what helps your partners' businesses grow, and so on. So first thing is, what I was trying to go into last week is every 90 days, I like to take an audit, which is really what we were just talking about a second ago, which is anything that you do, whether it's a task individually on its own, a week's worth of work, running an open house like we are just talking about, you want to plan it in your mind ahead the best that you can, and then go out there and just execute on it the best that you can, but then audit the situation, look back at it and study what happened. And in the beginning of business, a lot of times what we do is we just full steam going forward 100 miles an hour, and we're doing things, but we're never slowing down to look back at the things we've already done to save us time doing things in the future. So I'm a big believer in just really breaking down how things went. Could I have done things at a different time? Could I have said things in a different way? Did I lose somebody in a conversation, a different part of it? And the more you look back on things that you've already done, the more that your brain's going to think of a creative approach to apply these learning lessons in the future. Now, I think you guys should be auditing your day. So I usually plan my day in the morning, and then at the end of my day, I think about it. It doesn't need to be like a set in your desk and like, hey, I'm going to go through my daily audit. You could. I think if you did that, you'd be way better off than not doing it, for sure. But I think just at some point throughout your day, at the end of the day, whether you're picking your kids up for school, whether you're just sitting there at the end of having dinner or something like that, go over your day in your mind and think about time leakage. So the three things that we have that as far as expenses in business are time, money, and emotions. Think about the transitions between the tasks that you're doing. One of the biggest ways I see people have a lack of time management throughout their day is not that they're not doing the right things. They don't have transitions between task to task or call to call. And they waste 5 minutes here, 7 minutes there, 11 minutes there. And if you add that up on a daily, weekly, annual basis, that's the difference of making multiple six figures versus maybe $50,000, $60,000 a year just in the time of inefficiencies. So look at your day, figure out where you can do two things at one time, meaning 2 for 1s. Remember, you can't do 2 mental activities or 2 physical activities at the same time, but you can share a mental and a physical activity. So you can't read a book and listen to a podcast, but you can listen to a podcast and run on the treadmill, or you can go to the gym. So start thinking of time efficiencies. And then money. This is where I think a lot of people struggle, is like in your personal and business life, guys, go through your every single quarter, probably every single month, go through and check out how many recurring subscriptions you guys have for anything, whether it's the gym. If you're not going to it, start going to it or cancel it. Whether it's something that you got off the internet really quickly. I mean, it's all the time. We can go to Amazon, put on a recurring subscription plan, all sorts of different things we're adding into our life. And a lot of times we have anywhere from $250 to $1,000 a month in things that we can cut out. So I'd be looking at things that you spent too much money on, or also on the flip side, things that you're not spending enough money on. So what about paying for more leads, or paying for a different lead service, or paying for education or coaching or something like that? So think about what you should spend less money on and what you should be spending more money on. And then the real one I want to talk about here is your emotion pattern. I'd go back over the past 90 days and think about any areas in your life that you feel like you let yourself down, where you let yourself get out of your emotional patterns that you normally operate within, and it turned into a bigger problem. So down there at the bottom, emotional intelligence and emotional awareness is crucial for having a big income, especially when you start taking big risks and things. You're going to have problems come up all the time. But what's called problem compounding is the difference of your income at the end of the year, which means, did this one problem that I just had here with my contractor stealing from me, or a client, canceling on me, or an agent joining someone else or something like this, did this one problem that frustrated me, how fast did I get this out of my thought process and move on to the next task or situation the day that I need to go through? Or did I take this one problem and compound it into other problems? Did I take the frustration from having a deal fall out the closing table and take it home to the family and cause a fight with the spouse or the children or something like that? So problem compounding, which comes from emotional control, is one of the biggest headaches that you guys will have in business long term, because it's what sets you back and costs you those first two right there, which is time and money. So I'd really start thinking about when you lost your cool, how you lost your cool. Did you say something in a text message? Was it through a verbal message? Because it's sometimes hard to control your verbal messaging live time when you're frustrated. But if you're sending messages in text or email, these are the ones that you really want to avoid, because I call them the death email, where you write this long ranting email or you create a long video and then you send it, never send it that same day, guys. Always go to sleep, sit on it, and read it in a calm mind and in a normal mindset, and decide if you still want to send it, because that's where a lot of problems come up, and you have to rebuild relationships with title companies and all sorts of different things. So I just go back every 90 days to kind of think about these things. Now, let's talk about revenue share here real quick. So your ability to win at this is how well you can communicate the opportunity that you have for others, plus right there, how many agents inside your organization can do the same. This is going to equal your long-term results. Now, why is communication so important? So you hear the saying, the more you know, the more you're going to grow. That is the most important thing you need to understand, is that everybody has here the same EXP value proposition. Think of it as like a new build floor plan. Everybody has the exact same house, the exact same floor plan, the exact same sales proposition that they can go out there and sell in the marketplace. So it's the differentiator. So the differentiator is who can explain it the best and who can point the value out the most to the people that it would see the value in it for that specific person. Meaning, are they someone that's limited with time? And you can explain how the cloud-based system can give you more time leverage. Are they looking for X or this or that? How you can take parts of the EXP model and assign it to what the desires and interests are of the person that they're looking for in their business that don't currently have it, is going to be the direct relationship on how well you grow this business. So when it comes to EXP value, guys, let's look at kind of the separator here. So if y'all have not been into the preferred partner tab, if y'all want to do this, we can actually go into this at the end and go through some of these. There's like 15 to 20 different preferred partner programs right here. Now, just looking at these, and this is not all of them, I'm going to pause for a second. How many of these off the top of your head, if you were asked a question in a conversation about EXP, could you explain? Like if you're sitting down with the biggest person that will change your life, this is the big broker coming in, the team leader, the top influencer, you're sitting on a call and they're going to talk to another EXP agent. How many of these, if they ask you a question about one of these right now, could you explain? Okay. Probably not very many, right? And I know for myself, I couldn't even personally explain all of these on here in detail. Now I can explain most of them in detail, but on this preferred partners tab, guys, if you're looking for content ideas or good keywords or buzzwords to put into videos that you're going to get more clicks on, that you can compete against out there in the algorithms, these are going to be words that you want to use in the titles that you guys have. These are specific niche type of words that people Google. So let's say someone talks to John Smith at EXP and they bring up a couple of these names. What do you think that person's going to do at night? They're going to go on the internet. They're going to type in EXP, agent healthcare, or they're going to type in EXP, e-commission or something like that, right? Not many people are making videos about this. What are people making video about? EXP in general, revenue sharing, stock awards, the basics, and things like that. So you have short tail and long tail or long form keywords. And short form keywords would be like, we buy houses. Whereas long form keywords would be like, we buy houses from inherited property owners in Dallas, Texas. It's a longer keyword breakdown of the video topic in hand. And these are the keywords or the buzzwords that people are typing in that not many people are creating content around. Now, also, you want to go through these tabs just in general for your own business, guys. You want to make sure that something in here you'd be wanting to use, or that you don't have something that you'd be wanting to use that's in here that you didn't know that you have that you could use. That makes sense a little bit. So I'll just go through these, guys. And we'll go through some at the end if we have time. But this section right here is going to be the most valuable section for you to understand, and as far as what you need as a value proposition for yourself, if you want to use these things, or if you're trying to attract somebody over to the company. Because if you can break down these off the top of your head and they're talking to someone else at EXP that's not that you're competing against, 100% what you just demonstrated is competency, as well as understanding and conviction of what you're doing here. And when people move into a business where they're following someone, they want to follow someone that's fully convicted and competent in what they're doing. Okay. So it's very important you understand all that. Now, the second separation. So that's the EXP value set. Understand the EXP model, the better you can understand it, the more you can explain it, the more confidence the person listening to you can have in joining you. Now, the Wolfpack value proposition, you need to understand what you have as far as what you can use here, as far as what's provided from myself down, and then we'll go into what you can have as far as access from different groups that y'all may be part of or may not be part of.